Tuesday and welcome to a vlog. Your girl has a book haul. I'm so excited. So excited for these. When am I not excited for books, right? Okay, so the first book I got is Carmilla by Joseph Le Fanu. And this is supposedly the first vampire book that inspired Dracula, I think. The second book is one that I also already own a copy, but I don't have a copy that I like, and it's Henry James's The Turn of the Screw. Turns out this was the original copy that I was supposed to get for class, but for some reason Amazon sent me the Signet edition instead of the Penguin edition, and I personally don't like books that have a book and other stories connected to it when I'm only reading one thing. So I bought The Turn of the Screw separately, and this last book, oh, it's so beautiful. This is Tales and Poems by Edgar Allan Poe, and this is the Penguin Horror Edition that is in collaboration with Guillermo del Toro. I'm actually collecting them. So each book contains an introduction by Guillermo explaining why he chose to make this collaboration, and then the rest of the novel, or the rest of the book, is the actual work. And you can see that it has black edges and everything. I think they're so beautiful. So that is a small book haul. As you can see, they are very spooky related, so that's like a quick preview to something that I have in mind. And yeah. So it's the next day, and I've had a really long day. Malls drain me, but the best way to end today is with another book haul. I am kind of technically in a book buying band, but I was very not feeling good mentally last week. So half of this is kind of spontaneous, and then the other half is me self-care, treating myself. So we're not gonna get mad at ourselves for spending this money. But the first box, ooh, this is a lot bigger than I thought. The first box is Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez. She's a thick boy. I'm actually really scared to read this book just because I've heard about it. I know the synopsis and everything like that. But that is the point. I want to branch out and also face my fears along the way, you know? But yes, this is Our Share Night. This next book, ooh, this one's tiny. This is Clory by Jade Song. This is the October pick for Allison Page's Pocket Pages Book Club, and I don't think I'm gonna participate in the end for September just because I'm a little burnt out with all of my thesis workings and everything. I have the book for September, but I don't think I'm gonna read it in time, so it's kind of nice knowing how tiny this is. And then the last book that was in that box is Dark Tales by Shirley Jackson, which is just a collection, some of her short stories, and I love the artwork like always. This next book, oh look at that, sorry. This next book is Things We Lost in the Fire, also by Mariana Enriquez. I actually did not know that it was from the same author, so that's actually pretty cool. I also got The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by her. I don't know why I didn't realize that she wrote the same book, so that's actually pretty cool. But yeah, this is Things We Lost in the Fire. Yes, right here. This is The Dangers of Smoking in Bed. See, if they're from the same publisher, why weren't they sent together? Things We Lost in the Fire and the Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez. And then I was influenced by Ali's new vlog, so I got notes on In Execution. And this seems like a very interesting read, so I don't think I'll regret this. And then this last package has one book that I've been waiting on for a really long time. So I'm glad I finally put the full lid on it. Last novel is Riley Sager's The House Across the Lake. And I haven't read a Riley Sager and I didn't know where to start. And I personally didn't want to do research just because I know a lot of people's things are biased. But this one kind of caught my attention more out of all the ones. So I'm starting with The House Across the Lake. And then my last book in this book haul is Garlic and the Vampire. I really wanted to get Garlic and the Witch as well, but I couldn't find it for some reason. So I started with Garlic and the Vampire, and I can't wait. It looks so cute. This is the third graphic novel that I own. Glad to know that my little stash is growing, and I can't wait to get into this. I am so tired. Happy Thursday. Today I took my whole family to the airport because they're going to Mexico for the weekend. I couldn't go because I wanted to have this week free in case I heard back from an internship that I had applied to, and I didn't get it, which is okay. I just need money, but that's fine, whatever. So I'm home alone with my children. My dog is here with me, which makes me so excited. I missed her so much. She slept with me all night last night. Look at that. Say hi, Ray. She's camera shy, apparently. I'm working on my thesis, right? And I don't necessarily have writer's block because I know what I need to write. I just don't know how to start the next section or whatever. And I refuse to call that writer's block. Honestly, I refuse, because as soon as I get through one sentence, even if it ends up being deleted later, it flows, you know? So it's like, I refuse to call it writer's block. But I am stuck. I've been stuck on this page all week. But because Monday kind of started off a little rocky, I haven't had a chance to write until today, basically. I'm a little behind on my writing schedule, but that's fine because it's only Thursday. And I don't even have a lot to turn in by the end of the month. So we're good, I think. I think I'm still okay. I just wish I would have worked on it a little more so that I could have some freedom by the end of the month to prepare for October. I have very big aspirations for October concerning YouTube and everything. Look at this. friends, and welcome to Sunday. I actually have one more book to haul, and after this, I am officially on a book buying ban for the rest of the year. I have a whole shelf of TBR. I have a whole shelf of books that I need to read and no more themes. So this is the last of them. But this was an impulse buy. I was watching one of Emmy's videos and she was talking about this book, and I also saw her edition and I loved the edition, and I've been wanting to reread this book for a really long time, and so I had to buy it. So yeah. So they totally sent me the wrong edition, but at this point I really don't care. But I bought Great Expectations by Charles Dickinson. I originally read this book the summer before my freshman year, and I faked read it. I I only read I think one chapter and then just stopped reading it. I think it was still hard for me at that point. I felt very guilty that I didn't finish it because my English teacher my freshman year, she was praising me because apparently that was the hardest summer book on the list and not a lot of people chose it, or I was the only one who chose it or something like that. And whatever project we had to do with it, I got an A. I don't know how, but I still got an A. I obviously looked it up somewhere at one point. And I actually have a whole list of required books that I fake read that I do want to eventually get back to, especially because I can't keep lying. I'm an English major and I still haven't read a lot of books that are considered classics and a lot of books that I've discussed on before. I've done discussions. I think I even wrote, or at least mentioned them in some of my essays. I know I didn't write full essays on them because I wouldn't do that to myself, but mentioning them and at least being involved in discussions, that definitely. A work around my ADHD executive function was spark noting a lot of books. But like I said, those were never the ones I actually wrote essays on because, I didn't read them for a reason. And then second, the ones that I did read, my ADHD brain hyper focused on them for me to be able to write essays on, if that makes sense. So since I'm about to, have my master's, I want to make a list of actual books that I fake read and eventually get back to them. So long story short, Great Expectations is one of them. I've been wanting to circle back around it, and I finally have a copy to do that. And this, hopefully, is the last book I buy for 2023. If I ever show another book haul, rest assured, hopefully, that they were gifts or that it was a gift or something and not out of my own money because I don't have a job anymore and I can't afford to do that anymore. Speaking of, or a good transition, I guess, for a small revelation of mine, I guess. I told myself that now that I don't have a job, to focus on the things that I have passion for, that I love and everything like that. And art is one of them. I wouldn't say I'm really good at it, but I just love making art. I used to make visual journals and I love painting and everything like that. And I had stopped doing that because I was so overwhelmed with work and school that I had to keep pushing one thing back, and it just always ended up being art, any type of art. And I bought myself a new set of colored pencils. I bought myself acrylic paint because I actually really like acrylic paint. And I've been having a lot of free time, especially these past couple days since I'm home alone. And I couldn't make myself to do anything. And I'm so frustrated. And then I realized that my fear of not being perfect, which is obviously an irrational expectation caused by my ADHD, triggers
executive dysfunction, and that's why I could never sit myself down to actually make art. Like at one point I literally had my sketchbook open and I was just staring at a blank page. Like I told myself it's because I didn't have brushes. I told myself I made up all these excuses, but I still forced myself to at least open my sketchbook, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And it makes me so sad. I almost wanted to cry, but I held it together. And then this morning I tried to journal about it and I ended up just throwing my pen on my desk. Literally the only sentence I have in that journal entry is executive dysfunction is a bitch. I guess I kind of feel better for myself that I now know a name for this specific feeling, and I have ways to work around it. Or at least I think I have ways to work around it. I'm not sure. But the night wasn't lost. I did still. So, a while ago, I found, or I was reminded of adult coloring books. And so I bought one. I bought a spooky, cute coloring book with the intention of when I have moments like these where I'm too burnt out or tired or having executive function issues that I can't create something of my own, I'll at least still be creating something, working on something, and not just throw out that hobby out the window. And that's what I did. I ended up coloring 2 pages. This is the second one that I did, and this is the first one that I did. Let me tell you, it worked. It worked. I felt like I exercised the muscle of needing to create something, or that I satisfied that want to needing to create something, because I have it. I have that feeling, but it's really hard for me to actually get started because, I like fear of being perfect, but understanding that I can't be perfect until I actually practice, and that whole ADHD cycle that we go through. Long story short, 100% recommend adult coloring books if you have the need to want to make art, but you're stuck like I am. I'm hoping to push myself more and start working like on my own work to progress my skill and everything like that. But I know slowly but surely Rome wasn't built in a day. And I know I'll get there. I'll get there. I believe in myself. So this is the end of this week's vlog. Thank you so much for checking it out if you're here all the way, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.